The process by which neurons communicate is called neurochemical transmission, and which means that a chemical from one neuron is released onto another neuron. And the connection between a synapse and a dendrite is called the synaptic cleft. And chemicals are released, they go across that little space, they stimulate receptors, and then they give a signal to that neuron. And again, the number of synapses that a neuron creates and the strength with which they create those connections is based upon activity. And the more active a neuron is, the more it is stimulated, the more it will create strong synaptic connections with other neurons. So the density of synapses and their functional capability is also dependent upon activity. After birth, there is this explosive increase in synaptic connections as neurons are basically deciding, really trying to figure out what their job is. So they send out way more synaptic connections than they will ultimately use. And again, the synaptic connections that are active will be maintained, and the synaptic connections that are inactive tend to be resorbed and go away. So you have more synapses when you're a 9-month-old baby than you do when you're a 40-year-old adult. There's this process of synaptic proliferation and then resorption. The synapses that are active are maintained and sustained, and the synapses that are not used. Now, it's a wonderful thing that literally throughout life you are forming and resorbing synapses. As we speak right here, we are taking certain synaptic connections and strengthening them, and actually maybe even building some new ones. And we are taking unused synaptic areas and they are slowly being resorbed. So the brain is continuously in this process of being shaped and reshaped on a microscopic level. And this is what allows us to learn new things. This is what allows us to remember old things. And this is the process also that's involved in us forgetting things. That, you know, if you don't do something for a long time, you lose the synaptic, the neural capability to do that easily.